Hey Jackson, thanks for the video update. Sorry this took me a couple 10 days to get to. I had a backlog of stuff to do and then had a 2-day work trip sprung on me. So apologies. Thank you for your patience. It looks a lot better, obviously. Like you're not spinning out anymore. The toe drag is still a thing, but we're very much moving in the right direction. So you're doing good work. Let's take a look at it. So that X-step placement is pretty good. You're still coming down onto the heel, and I'm not sure if you were doing that before. I didn't check that. But try to stay up on the ball of this foot. That'll help get that leg to scoop out of the way in the most productive manner possible. So foot placement here is, well, the angle is good. Your step is still too big. That's why you end up with the toe drag. So pull this back like 10 inches a foot, like to here, maybe even more, while you're getting the feel of this more aggressive bracing style. This will help you a lot because you see how the angle on this leg is shallower than this one. That's not ideal. I think you want your legs to be at an equal angle, so that'll be a lot easier to do if you make this shorter. Also, you could, I'm not sure this is your peak reach back even, but see how we're looking at your side of your shoulder here? You can go all the way back to where we're actually looking at your shoulder blade. So your shoulder blade would be in this position here. So you can just turn further. You don't have to by any means, but you have your shoulders on like that angle. You can put them on the opposite angle. And then you are rounding a decent amount because there's still a bend in your elbow and the disc is like behind your body, right? Yeah, so you're pretty clearly rounding here. Like some pros do that sometimes and it's okay, but because of your shoulder angle, this angle is too pinched, right? So you want that to be at least 90, if not more than 90. So if you were to get your shoulders turned farther and have your arm out here, so the disc is this way and has its own path to go in front of your chest, like here you're going to have the disc come around. That's why we call it rounding. It's one of the reasons we call it rounding. It's complicated linguistics, but that would help. So if your shoulder angle was here and your arm was straighter, then you have a way more than 90 degrees here. So I can demo that for you real quick. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. So the changes I want to see are shortening up this step, making sure, so like this position looks good on your leg, but the more you can commit to the idea of keeping these toes on 90, the easier it'll be to keep your rear leg involved in the throw the way they want. And then a little more shoulder rotation, a little more elbow extension, and getting the disc a little more out here outside of you. So pretty much all we need to change in this round is addressing this loaded position just as your brace comes down. So what is it? 3 changes. Cleaning up that foot if we can, shortening the step, maybe a little more shoulder rotation, definitely reaching out more with the disc. So let's just look at the whole thing again, make sure I'm not missing anything. So you're a little tippy and you still have a shoulder shrug. That's fine. That's a long battle to get rid of. So, but related to the rounding, right? So this angle is still too crunched and your spine is tilted a little bit forward. Like it's not bad, there's nothing wrong with that. I just think it's better to be more upright and then have the amount of lean here that you have after the disc is out. So your power pocket's a little bit collapsed because of the rounding thing. Sorry, because the disc was here, you can't get it to this nice, very open position here. And then something that Chris Taylor and Seabass have been harping on recently is that 90-degree position isn't necessarily the power pocket. The power pocket is the deepest coil position you get to, so that could happen out here, right, where the disc is the most coiled into your arm and your elbows at this angle. This is a higher level thing. You may not be doing that yet, which is totally fine. You don't have to. You can get to 350, 400 without, yeah, so this is not good, right? Your power pocket is super collapsed. Like your chest is too close to your elbow. So we'll have to work on that too. So keeping the elbow up away from the chest is the key. So one more check to make sure I'm not missing anything that's gonna help. And then I'll demo that position for you and then you'll be good to go. But way better on the balance and the brace and the not spinning out. That was the most important thing to fix, and you've made a big change in the right direction. So now, yeah, the next layer is just working on the power pocket and the reach back and the foot placement. Let me switch over to my other camera. Bam. Okay, cool, good to go. So what are we going to go over? Just those three things in your brace position. So what are you doing? You're ending up, you're letting your X-step foot get a little bit toes backwards. I'm not too worried about the position, but it is not great that you come down onto that heel. So try to stay up on the ball of that foot, and turning it to a strict 90 degrees can be helpful. And then you're going a little too far, and then this leg is strung out. So shorten that up a little bit. So on the ball of this foot still, keeping this one here, and then your reach back is still seeing your shoulder, and I'm still seeing a bent arm, and you're coming back behind you too far. So instead of here, come out this way, and then turn more to where I can see that shoulder blade. So it's going to be a lot more twist than you're used to. The best place to work on this is probably here in standstills. So find a comfortable position, right? You'll find that this is not comfortable. You won't get a lot of hip turn here. When you shorten it up, now you can get a lot more hip turn, and you can get into this position where your knees are closer together when you rotate all the way through. So just find where that's comfortable, and then don't reach back behind you. So if I'm thrown away from the camera now, don't reach back, reach out. And it's choose your own adventure on how far. You'll find what makes sense for you. My brain struggles a lot when I try to reach out and come back in and go out. So I keep it a little more narrow, but it is not straight back. It's a little bit out for me. Because it's just hard for me to conceptualize that I'm putting the disc this way and then throwing it that way. So it's easier for me to go here. It might mechanically be better to reach out this way, but it doesn't make sense to my body and my brain, so I don't push it. Just do what feels good. But this is never going to feel good because the disc always has to come around, right? So if I pivot, there's no way to get to my power pocket with power unless you're eagle and you don't have a spine. He makes it work somehow. But this is just really hard because here I'm not going to have enough elbow drive that I'm not going to end up in this position. There's not enough space here. So the name of the game is, from a top view, you're here, right? Make space. Open up your chest, open up your arm, and then you'll have room to have space in your power pocket with the disc curling in on its own, right? Space, space, space. That's what you want. Ask questions if it doesn't make sense, but you're doing really good, making quick changes already. So I don't think you have a problem with this stuff. Good work, dude.